What's up, everybody? It is the non-spoiler review of The Marvels, the latest MCU Marvel movie starring Brie Larson, Teyonah Parris, and Iman Vellani, directed by Nia DaCosta. Sam Jackson returns in this one as well. I'm Kristian Harloff. Thank you for joining me on this non-spoiler review. Look, I would tell you, hey, hit that button because we are aiming for 100, but we hit it, guys. We hit 100,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Now we're aiming for 200. So if you're brand new to the channel, never been here before, hit that button. Help us get to that next goal of 200,000, hopefully even faster than we got to 100. So thank you so much for everybody who's been on board. All right, so I did an out of the theater reaction, and oh my gosh, people are losing their minds because there's a lot of positive reviews that came out of this screening last night. They had screenings all over, and people saw the movie, and there was overwhelmingly positive. I was not one of those people because I just thought it was a very uneven, sloppy script. And there are, as I said in my out of the theater reaction, there are some positives, and I'll start with those positives. The positives, again, is that what you said as you saw the trailers of this movie, you're like, look, if the chemistry is there between Carol and Monica and Kamala, if they are there, then you're going to have something positive. You do. Their chemistry is fantastic, and Brie Larson is definitely, I feel that Carol Danvers is even more developed in this movie than she is in the last one. She has more to do emotionally, I think, in this one because she has this relationship with Monica, and that works to me. Like, that storyline works for me. The moments when they have to play into those emotions, that to me should have been more of the core storyline. Obviously, if you watch Ms. Marvel, you know how great Kamala Kahn is. She's fantastic, and she continues to be fantastic in this movie. She has so much personality. She's an absolute star. Every time she's on, she shines. You just feel good watching her. She's just a big ball of joy and energy, and the stuff with the family works. As I was watching the movie, though, I'm like thinking to myself, this might have worked as like Ms. Marvel season 2 and been able to just develop this story that they're trying to tell over the course of like 5 or 6 episodes instead of this 1 hour and 45-minute movie. Because the interesting stuff is the stuff that I just mentioned. The stuff that doesn't work is, it's just, you don't really know what the story, there's really no plot. I don't really know what the plot is on this movie. It's like you've got this villain who's pissed off at Captain Marvel for things that happened in the past, and she wants to save her planet, and she feels that she can do it by getting one of the bracelets, and then it's just like kind of generic stuff that you've seen a million times over. It's no different than the villain in Thor: Dark World, or even Ronan from Guardians. Just like forgettable villain, and it's not really the actress's fault. It's just there's nothing to do. And then the problem is this: when I was watching this movie, it starts off very chaotic, because you see it from the trailer. Like, they're jumping back and forth, and they're transferring all over the place, and you're like, whoa. And I think that's kind of the point, because they're like, well, we want you to feel that kind of chaotic craziness because they don't know what's going on. You should know what's going on right away. Okay, I understand that. And then you start getting into some more stuff, and as I'm watching, I'm going, this movie is not that bad. I don't know what everyone's talking about. Like, it's not, because there was things that people were saying that maybe it's tracking low, and the test screening was just okay. And I'm like, it's fun. It's fine. And then there's something that happens. There's a bit that happens. I mean, again, like I said, even leading up to it, I was thinking to myself, like, it's uneven, and I think they might have served better on like Disney Plus, but for the most part, it's fine. And then this bit happens, and it lost me. It just lost me. It felt like the stuff that I didn't like about Love and Thunder, and apparently this scene that was like anywhere between 5 to 7 minutes was apparently like close to 15 or 20 until they cut it, and that's one of the reasons that the movie's shorter. And it's the same thing I had with Love and Thunder. It feels like a different movie. It feels like Saturday Night Live, and some people are going to go, "Oh, wasn't that bad?" It took me out of it. It just took me out of it. And I went, "Whoa!" And I had to recover from it. And then they started okay, let's get back into the kind of the emotions of it. I was like, okay, fine. There's some generic stuff going on, but we're getting the dynamic of the team back. Like I said, it's all three. I just wish all three of these actresses would have been in a better movie because they really shine. All three of them. They're fantastic in it. All three. And I was like, it's just the movie that they're in is just kind of subpar. Then they get back after that bit. They get to this subpar storyline again. I'm like, okay, you got me back on it. And then this another bit happens. And it's like, why? Well, because it's cute. Oh, but why? It just fits the story. Go with it, guy. Okay. And then it's just like the script is really 5 different tones. So I'm going, it lost me at that bit. It's trying to get me back with this other thing. Then it loses me again with this bit. Then we get back into the storyline. And by the time you get to the end, you're like, well, that was fairly predictable what they did there. Why didn't that happen instead of that? And they could have just asked that to happen, but they want to get this. And the fights, I mean, again, another positive is that the fights are fantastic. Nia DaCosta does a great job with the fights when like they're bouncing back and forth. And even as chaotic as it is in the beginning, the way that it's actually planned. And the other thing, I guess, countering a positive with the negative is there are times I think they shot on the volume because it looks like in the very beginning, like there's a scene where you're like, well, that doesn't look real. A lot of these things just didn't look real. And, well, it's a comic book movie. What do you expect? There are a lot of movies in the first 3 phases that I was like, I believe all this is happening. I believed everything that was going on in Wakanda. I believed everything that was going on in whether it was the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I believed all of it. Anyway, so that happens, and then there's a mid-credit scene that everyone's really going to be talking about, and it's been rumored, and it sets up some really important stuff, and that alone is very important. The music, the score, sometimes as the score was started, this is really good, and then there was sometimes the score was very jarring, and it seemed like they're like, do something here where it just really sets up that this is an eerie villain. And it was just jarring to me. It just didn't work. And, people are going to, it's so funny. You can't win on these things because if you like this movie, well, then you're a shill. If you don't like this movie, then you hate everybody who's involved, and you're just a hate monger. So what you should do is judge it for yourself. You should go to the movies if you want to see the film, and you should see it. You might be there. I've seen a lot of people, the people that I have worked with, people that I respect, who love this movie. And you might align with their taste. You don't need to call them names if they like it. And you don't need to call me names if I don't. Judge it for yourself. Go to the movies. If you really want to see it and you're curious about it. And look, you might be on my side of the coin with a lot of movies that I review. And this one, you're like, well, I wasn't on board with you on this one. I saw that in the comments yesterday. Somebody that I've done many things with. Look, I saw the movie. I disagree. I liked it because of this. I love that. Do that. Do that with this in general. This isn't us versus them. This is movies, and you might love it. I didn't. That's how it goes. For me, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say 2.5 out of 5. There's a movie in there. And if they cut out both silly bits and they focused on the story a little bit more with Carol and Monica and the stuff happening with Kamala and the stuff with her family works well, if they would have involved it a little more. Sam Jackson has nothing to do in this movie at all. He's in it. Nick Fury has nothing to do. He's just kind of sitting around. Sometimes he's literally just sitting and shooting. But I would have liked to see a little bit more with him, and maybe he has more of a relationship with Kamala and helping her out a little bit more, because I thought it was cute how much she loved. And we know this from the show, how much she, like, to her, Captain Marvel is like Taylor Swift, so she is so excited to work with her, and that bit works. And that's the stuff, like, there is stuff, these people go, oh, you never like humor in movies. In Marvel movies. It's not true. There's a lot of stuff the stuff that does work with the family and the stuff with Kamala that works so good, and it's charming, and those kind of jokes when ready and normal. And there's times when she's on the battlefield and they use her for the comic relief, and she's just kind of this innocent kid, and she sees stuff. You see it in the trailer when she's jumps back and forth and she sees the cat, and the cat throws the things down. She's like, oh my God, that stuff works. It's when they're like, oh, we need like a really big bit. Wouldn't it be crazy if this happened? And it's like, no, it's not crazy. It's dumb. And I'm curious, you'll know immediately the bit I'm talking about when you see it. If you like that bit, I think you're going to like this movie. it just, for me, I started to go like I said, guys, this was my journey on this. I went, whoa, what's going on here? I don't know. It said a story. Okay, I'm on a story. Okay, story's fine. Bit, whoa, right off into like another dimension. And you're like, whoa, where the hell am I now? Because I don't know what I'm watching. And then it's like, oh, get back into that story you were just watching. It's like, okay, that's a little jarring, but I'll do that. And okay, I guess I'm on board. I'm a little shaky here. I don't know what I'm watching. Another bit right in your face. Oh, I think I'm out. Subpar ending. Mid-credit scene that's awesome. Okay, that's how I felt. That's how I summed it up. So yeah, 2.4, 2.5. I'm in that area for this movie. And people were like, well, you loved Quantumania. Never said that. Said I enjoyed watching it. I said I enjoyed watching it because I like the science fiction element. Watched it out of the theater reaction. I went back and I said I could see where people are not going to necessarily like this movie. And I still, there's movies like, this is in that conversation of Quantumania, Love and Thunder, and Love and Thunder to me is one of those movies that just got worse and worse and worse as I can't even watch it. I try to watch it again. So I don't know if it's as bad as that one. But yeah, and if you go back, my out of the theater reaction for that one was like, I think that there's stuff in here that works. And look, I could go back and watch this one and say, look, there's more stuff there. I watched it with my daughter, and it's not great, but it's better than what was the first time I saw it. Or I could just say it gets worse and worse. I don't know. I don't know if I'll ever be able to watch that bit. I just really don't. But like I said, judge it for yourself. Go see the movie. If you want to, obviously. If you have no interest in seeing it, then don't see it. Doesn't matter. You see something that you do want to see. Don't rip on people if they loved it. Don't rip on people if they didn't love it. If someone's insulting and being just nasty and mean, then say, hey, why are you doing that? If somebody's saying, hey, I love that thing, you say, well, I didn't love that thing. Why did you love it? But that's not the way the world works, is it, kids? I don't know. Anyway, I want to thank everybody here for joining me. I appreciate it. And for everybody who's subscribed to the channel, thanks for doing it. I saw somebody who said that one of the reasons they did is because we have very balanced takes on all these shows. You'll find people like, I guarantee you, on Friday's show, on Capes and Cowls, which we do, and Big Thing, I talked to Winston and Coy last night. Coy, I think, is more on my side of things, and I think Winston is really enjoyed it. So it'll be a fun conversation. We won't be yelling at one another. We'll be having a discussion. So we hope that you'll join us for that discussion and more discussions on this channel. So thank you for joining me here today for this non-spoiler review of Captain Marvel. I appreciate it. Leave all your comments. Click that like button. And if you are part of the new 100,000 crew, thank you. If you would like to join and get us to 200,000, please do so. Hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you. And we'll see you on the flip side. Thanks, everybody.